Greetings YouTube. Today we're looking at the Kershaw Husker 1380 WMX. And little blurbs on the back, 8 CR13 MOV steel, assisted opening, frame lock, stainless steel handle, pocket clip, reversible, right, left, tip up, which is the only way knives should be. Tip down is an abomination. So here we go. It is in fact an all steel design. It has a nice little kind of pattern in here, which kind of makes me think vaguely of like circuit boards. And it has a reversible pocket clip, so you can go right hand or left hand carry for, and because it's a flipper, that's going to be very accommodating to a southpaw. I find it interesting that this is just a groove, a decoration. Well, this is actually a plate as part of the, as it's acting as the overstop, so you can't open the knife too far, which is a nice feature. I think that's quite nice. So let's go and get the blade open. And there we go. This is assisted opening. It has a nice curved blade shape with a nice little kind of a drop, like almost in the same style that you'd find on a Warncliffe kind of a thing. I like that, the way this is shaped like that. It is a hollow grind, and the knife edge is reasonable. I checked it on a piece of paper before I turned the camera on. It is, however, it is a solid knife. Let me show you. Whoops, sorry, too soon. 99 grams. So yeah, this is pretty hefty for a small blade, and it's not large. I like this, and I find it very well constructed. I know that's a weird thing to say, but sometimes I find there are too many sharp edges on some knives, and this is very nice. There's a chamfer all the way around. I like the overstop. The plate may also be part of the torsion bar system. I'm not positive. I have not taken this apart, and I don't actually plan on doing that at any time in the future. But I do appreciate that it having a stop, so you cannot go too far with that. Because it is a torsion bar, because, well, I can't really do that with one finger. You do have to close it like that. I can do it with my thumb. You do have to overcome it. And this is actually fairly a stiff resistance as far as overcoming a torsion bar. I've seen torsion bars that were far lighter than this. And I was kind of surprised by that, because I own a leak that seems to be snappier than this, but the amount of force required to close it is less. So I'm intrigued, but that doesn't seem to be as snappy as the leak, but it takes more force to overcome it. Maybe that has something to do with the pivot. Maybe if I play with the pivot, I can get that to be a little bit lighter. I haven't done that. You have ever so slight motion in this direction, nothing in this direction. And I think that may have to do with the fact that this is a budget frame lock, because everything you're seeing is the actual structure of the knife. So I think that we may be looking at the fact that the pivot is holding the whole thing together, and the next closest bolt or screw is here, so that distance is fairly far away, and you got a bunch of leverage, so there may be some motion just because there isn't anything else closer holding it together. But yeah, that's a little bit disappointing, but this is a $20 knife. Okay, so let me be very clear. This is a $20 knife. I picked it up at Walmart. So for 20 bucks, I'm not going to really argue a whole lot about the fact that there is a little bit of movement. I picked it up because I like the overall shape. I still like the overall shape. I like the fact that it's not too big, because it's not too long or too wide. It's not taking up a lot of pocket real estate, even if it is a little on the heavy side, because if it's solid stainless steel construction, you're not going to notice this in your pocket a whole lot. You know what I mean? It's not going to be grievously obvious that you're carrying a knife. I actually think that this would very well, in my opinion, be superior as a flipper, as a non assisted opening knife. I think that the overall design, the shape, would work as a flipper. So this might be the kind of thing that if you like the knife's look, and I can understand that I actually find these scales very attractive. I like that techie circuit breaker look. Removing the torsion bar might improve the overall performance, because then you can then tweak the pivot to be exactly the amount of resistance you want. And the only thing I don't know is how much retention you would have if you did that. Would the blade stay in place if you remove the torsion bar? That's an excellent question. I don't know if that's involved in the retention process or not. I have never designed a knife with a torsion bar, so I couldn't answer that question. But it is a nice little blade. I like the shape. I like the construction. Everything's nice and smooth, nice fit and finish. Oh, I didn't check the centering. Sorry about that. Let me check that. The centering is dead center. The centering is dead center. That's always a pleasant thing to see. So yeah, this has been the Kershaw Husker, and again, I picked this up for $20 at Walmart. It's a recent arrival. So this may have been released for the Christmas season. I'm not positive. I check it. I go to Walmart like every other week or so, usually to pick up supplements and get my fiber and my gelatin and things like that there. But I always check the knives because you never know when something's going to drop. I also check their movies because occasionally they get things in there cheap that I want to pick up. So I think this is a nice little blade. I happen to like it. And if you are a Kershaw fan, this may be something you want to pick up. If you're looking for an assisted opening knife that is small, not going to take up a lot of space, even if it is a slightly on the heavy side, this might be something you'd be interested in.